Roger, maintain visual separation, maintain 210.
Maintain visual separation, maintain 210 knots, Frontier Flight 2081.
Hello fellow flight simmers, welcome to a new short video about the updated FENIX called version 2 block 1. It was highly anticipated and of course hyped yesterday on its release day. And while there were some very nice changes to the visual and the audio models, and of course a change in the fly-by-wire behavior of the aircraft, however some big things are still missing. And one of the biggest issues for me is the wrong engine thrust and engine fuel flow modeling. But they did pre-announce that it wasn't going to come with the Block 1 update, and hence they are now trying to get this fixed with the Block 2 update, which should be with us apparently in September or October of this year. So let's have a look at the changelog from yesterday's release, and we'll start with the known issues section. So expedite climb descent is not behaving correctly at the moment. The autopilot roll is too snappy, so it's a bit too aggressive, initiating the turns on certain occasions. The pitch flight director bar coupling could still be better, and then the direct to, if you haven't inserted a from and to airport, can cause some crashes. What I've noticed is there are definitely some good improvements on the cockpit and displays. It's made brighter during the day, although I have to say personally I don't like the cockpit brightness now. It looks unnaturally bright, as if some background lighting is on at the moment. So hopefully they will dial that down just a tad again, as I think it's overdone. The texture cleanup is definitely noticeable as well, and so it's there to reduce the level of wear in the cockpit, and I think that was welcomed by many people. Also cabin and galley optimizations increased in performance, noted in testing, it says. I've not checked that yet. Good improvements as well on sounds. Engine start, shutdown, bus saw improvements, and many other sound improvements, as you can see here in that changelog list. Not sure what you guys think. Personally, I think in the outside view, engine sounds are a bit quiet for me. Also, there are some changes to the FENIX app. They have removed the legacy display render options. Instead, you now get two options with use CPU rendering or use display synchronization. Now you would tick the use GPU rendering option if you have issues with VRAM or if you actually have an iGPU. Now the tick box for use display synchronization shall be used for aggressive display sync, and apparently it helps with display lag and stuttering. However, it may reduce frame rate, so don't use unless you have display issues. In the FENIX EFB, they fixed the weight and balance discrepancies. They've updated the layout now to 180 passengers. But the biggest improvement there for me at the moment was the EFB map, which supports the Navigraph moving map and also the Lido AMDB, so the aerodrome mapping database. Something that has definitely improved nicely were the complete redrawing of the PFD, ND, the upper and lower ECAMs. So changing again the phone's colors and the element size, the positioning, which now apparently matches pixel by pixel the real displays. The rest of the changelog shows a huge number of improvements, changes to the flight model and the avionics systems. So if you are interested in finding out all of these changes, go and read through the extensive changelog list here. Yesterday on my live stream I got lots of questions regarding the changed flight model or the changed fly-by-wire simulation, and I did follow the advice of the development team that you should have a linear pitch and roll axis setup. So what does that mean? Well, if you go into control options on your hardware sight stick if you have one. You go to sensitivity and you can see that I've put the reactivity to 0 and the sensitivity on all axes to 0 as well. And the results there are satisfactory in the sense that if you look at the real fly-by-wire of the A320, very small side stick inputs already cause a certain reaction of the aircraft. That simply has to do with the fact that you are commanding either a roll rate in the roll axis or a G-load factor in the pitch axes. The computers take those stick inputs and then translate that into a certain deflection of those respective flight controls. And that is going fairly quickly in the real aircraft. So if you're looking for that kind of responsiveness in the FENIX, then definitely have the sensitivity in a linear setup. However, I am aware of the fact that lots of people are using lots of different hardware peripherals, and try out different sensitivity settings in those axes. Try to find your own personal preference in that regard. If you're looking for some other possibilities to change the way the aircraft behaves, have a look at the reactivity settings. And that setting is there to simulate an input lag between the flight controls and the actual movement of the controls at the aircraft. Simply speaking, it reduces twitchiness, as some people call it. And here again, you need to try that out for yourselves. I've tried 100% and I've tried 0%. And for some reason, 30% seems to be the sweet spot for me. And I'm using the Thrustmaster Warthog base with the FS Project's side stick add-on. And there I found that the FENIX then feels somewhat very similar to the real aircraft. So my muscle memory that I use daily in the real world flying translate quite nicely here
30,
into the FENIX.
20, retard.
But then again, don't take my word for it, try it out for yourself. Before I come to the end of the video, I want to point out something that completely threw me off in the stream yesterday while doing a flap config 3 landing. And there it just seems that the drag model is completely off. So you have to use pretty much idle power, at least no more than 40%, as I've tried out several times. Compare that to the config full setup. There you have like 55% N1, so pretty much normal values. I don't know what went wrong there, but hopefully they will fix that very soon, because that is very unrealistic. Right, that pretty much covers the video on the update of version 2 block 1 from the FENIX. All in all, very nice. However, please, 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 please hurry up and get out that new engine model, including the IAE, because that would make me very happy indeed. A big thank you to all of my supporters, and I wish everyone happy landings, stay well, and I'll see you again very soon. Take care.